Hey everyone, my name is Edson Garcia. I graduated here at Winder-Barrow High School in 2018. Throughout my high school career, I was part of the marching band and swim dogs. I did marching band for the 4 years, went from trumpet to sousaphone for the last 3, and I held the position of sousaphone section leader my senior year here. In swim team, I held varsity swim captain my senior year, and I swam for all 4 years. Right now, I'm back at UNG here at home. I started out my college career in UTEP, University of Texas in El Paso, and I transferred here last semester.
Hey y'all, my name is Morgan McCall and I graduated from Winder-Barrow in 2019. While I was at Winder-Barrow, I played softball and tennis, and I was also involved in other clubs and organizations. I'm now currently a sophomore at the University of Southern Mississippi, where I major in forensic science with an emphasis in criminal justice.
Hey y'all, I'm Bailey. I graduated in 2017 from glorious Winder-Barrow. So the roles and titles that I've held here, so I was in Key Club, Beta Club, National Honor Society. I was also on the tennis team, football team, and swim team. Roles I've held, really, honestly it's been so long that I can't really remember to tell you, but where am I now? Currently, I'm in my 4th year. I'm a senior at the University of Georgia. I am a sport management double dog, and yeah, that's where I am.
My name is Austin Krause. I graduated class of 2020. I participated in football, freshman to 11th grade, and then my senior year decided it was enough for me. I joined FFA. I was in FFA all 4 years of high school. I participated in FFA by showing hogs, and then I was enrolled in work-based learning the end of the last semester of 11th grade and both semesters of 12th grade. I worked a job at Hills Ace Hardware. As soon as we got out at lunch, I went to work at Hills, did that for 2 years. Once I graduated, I decided I wanted more for myself. I quit my job at Hills Ace Hardware and I went to lineman school. It's called SLTC. It's a 15-week program. I also have a 7-week program. I decided to do the electrical program, and they teach you everything you're gonna need to know about line work. You get tons of certifications while you're there. You have the opportunity to start making 120 grand in almost 12 years. Lots of money in this field, different routes you can take with this field. They teach you just about everything you're gonna need to know. And it's only 162 miles away from Barrow County. It's about a 3-hour drive. It ain't bad. Still in the state of Georgia. They're going to give you your CDLs, your all sorts of certifications. It goes on and on and on. You learn CPR, you get your OSHA 10, anything to help you get involved in the line work. And I think it's going to be a pretty good career path for me.
Hey, I'm Angel Sanchez-Weiss. I graduated Winder-Barrow High School in 2017. I was the band co-captain my senior year, and currently I'm attending the University of North Georgia in Gainesville, / a little bit of online with their online classes.
Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Moore. I'm currently at the University of Georgia. I graduated from Winder-Barrow High School in 2017. While I was in high school, I was involved in a few clubs, NHS, Key Club. I was a part of the marching band here. I was in the trumpet section leader back when I was here. Yeah, like I said, I'm currently studying biology at the University of Georgia, and pre-med is my intent. And actually, on the way over to do this video, I actually got an acceptance into medical school, so that just goes to show anything can happen at any time. So
Applying college out of state was really a chaotic experience, and to be honest, the entire process from beginning to end was really planning hassle for both here at the high school and at University of Texas. There was a special exam I had to take to be actually admitted into the educational institution, and that test had to be very specific on how and where it was taken, and the only place that was available for it was UNG's testing center. And I had to go in 3 different times to take the test just for the sole reason because of they didn't have the proctor available, nor did they have the system set up for a test, because this is the first time they've ever had someone take a test, a Texas-based exam for an institute over there. But we got through it. The staff here at Winder-Barrow helped me through it. and I was admitted into the university that same semester. Getting all that paperwork filled out. I remember Mr. Peppers being always emailing my mom and emailing myself to just make sure that everyone's on the same idea and same plan.
My college application process was pretty easy, with the exception of taking the ACT to get the score I wanted to be able to get a scholarship from Southern Miss. The process is definitely something you don't want to put off and do at the last minute, because you have to take either the SAT or ACT in most cases, and you have to get letters of recommendation, and you have to have the money to pay for all the fees.
Well, so when I was applying to colleges, so I did the typical thing. I traveled around to different states, to mainly Texas, because I really wanted to go to the University of Texas in Austin. But when I visited there, it was just way too big, like 50,000 people. It was a city inside a city. And I got to visit SMU in Dallas, and I fell in love with the place. But it was a private school, like $50,000 tuition, and no out of state, like scholarships, whatever. So, and then Georgia, well, being 20 minutes away, it was just a no-brainer. And also all my family went there. They all graduated from there. And so when I applied, early action at SMU, didn't get in. No surprise there. But then I applied early action at Georgia, and I remember perfectly. So it was right before a big swim meet at like 7 a.m. when the acceptance came out. And I just remember I had my hoodie on, like downstairs in my dad's office, just about to open it up, and then boom, fireworks, just pure euphoria. And I cried, my mama cried, she was holding me, and yeah, it was just pure bliss. It was awesome. So, and really, program-wise, you can't go wrong anywhere you go, all right? Like, I changed my major 4 times. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be straight up. And but right now, I found out that sport management was my forte, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So,
Filling that application out is pretty easy. It has its ups and downs, but it really made you think, can I do this the rest of my life for 40, 60 years? That's what really got me hooked onto it, going through that application. They also do tours. One of the tours really helped me out too. So
I probably was among the group that didn't apply until like the last semester, like probably a couple months before graduating. So luckily enough, I had the opportunity to, apply for the free applications here at school for UNG and GGC. And so I was able to go through, talk with them about the process, and then we were able to get everything going. And sure enough, I found out, probably within about a month, that I was accepted to both of them. And so really then it was just my choice. And so, I definitely recommend applying early, trying to go as early as you can, just because it doesn't happen all the time that, you'll have the opportunity to, it may take a little bit to find out that time. So if you kind of wait till the last minute, you're kind of putting yourself on a chopping block, so to say. So definitely recommend trying to apply early, or as early as you can.
So applying to college is stressful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it there, just because it's everything you wanted to do in one application. It's your whole life summed up in a small little story. And it's sometimes it's pretty stressful trying to say the right things, do the right things. But at the end of the day, there is such a holistic process, and they review your whole application when you go to college. So they will know where you're coming from. They will see the trends with previous year's students. So there's always that hope, and always the name Winder has run very far from my understanding. So while it is stressful, I encourage anybody to do it that is interested, because anything can happen.
I come from a family that's really come from a really hardworking family. My mom's educated, my dad's educated. They all have college degrees. It was very important and very a really top of my list to get my graduate degree in the engineering program, which I wanted to go into. Essentially, it was just really a lot of hard work for both my family and me to move out of state and essentially get a job there, get settled in, make money, and also go to school full time.
Oh, it means everything. really. Like, I've always wanted to go to college. I've seen like hearing the stories from my parents about their college experiences, and also from my aunt and uncles, and also especially my sister. She's only 5 years older than me, and so hearing all of her like experiences and how much fun college was, I just had to go. And I've always been a Georgia fan. I've been going to games since I was 2. You know, my blood literally bleeds red and black, especially coming from Winder, you know. And so I went from a double G Bulldog to a real Bulldog, all right. And so, but no, it just meant everything. And continuing that that family line, going to UGA, it was just awesome. And like, for example, my dad and my sister, they both have their degrees from Grady, the College of Journalism, and my mom has her degree from the College of Education. And it just so happens that the sport management program is in the College of Education. So we'll have, and she has her master's, I'm gonna get my master's, so it'll be a little halvesies with the family, so yeah.
To my family and me, getting into this program, it's allowed me to think about where I want to go in the country. They got guys out there that came out of this school last year working in California, making $150,000 a year right now, making $120 an hour. It's easy money. But then you got days where you're working 20 hours a day, only sleeping 4 hours a night. You know, you're working all day, you know. But you got all these advantages. You can move anywhere in the country. You can stay in one spot if you get lucky, or you can chase storms. Go up and down the East Coast, go down the West Coast, chase fires, tornadoes. You can go anywhere you want. There's contractors, there's municipals. You can work for a county if you wanted to. You can just work for a co-op. That's where you just stay in one spot, but they can put you places like you don't want to be at sometimes, you know. There's a advantage and disadvantage to everything. You know, there's times where you'll be making killer money, but no storms, you'll just be maintaining lines. You know, there's a couple different lines you can go on. You can go on distribution lines, you can go on transmission lines, you can go on substation lines, you can even work substations. You know, you can work with 175,000 volts, 475,000 volts, all the way down to 7,200 volts. You know, but the biggest thing to my family about this is the thought of electrical shock and having 175,000 volts pass through your body. So the biggest thing to my family was about being safe. You know, you gotta wear your PPE, you know, your thick leather gloves, your safety glasses, you gotta wear your hard hat, your steel-toed boots, your long sleeve shirt, your pants. You know, you gotta make sure you're grounded, because, you know, one slip up, you can die out there. You know, they have protection on the lines. It's called a one shot on your transformer. You know, you pull that one shot, that's the difference between you going home in a casket, open casket, or you're going home in a closed casket, because your body will sit there and burn. You know, there's advantages, and safety is one of the biggest things in line work. You know, you can die in an instant. It's pretty challenging on the family.
So for me, it's you know, with the day and age we're living in now, you know, everybody, you know, in order to get a good, decent paying job, you know, it's beneficial for you to have that college degree. And so, you know, that for me is a mindset, you know, I got to try to strive for this. You know, I want to do better for myself, for my future family. You know, I want to make sure that I can provide the best as I can. So, you know, that mindset is just trying to go through and, you know, make sure that I can have, you know, that experience, and to make sure that I can do that for me and my family. And then my parents and sisters, they're both, you know, very supportive with everything that's going on right now with school. So definitely my family is a little bit of my backbone when it comes to schooling. So I know they're excited to see me do as good as I'm doing now.
A lot of my family did not go to college. Most of them ended up getting a certificate in something and ended up being either a nurse or firefighter, any sort of, you know, not a 4-year college or anything like that, mostly maybe a 2-year most. So for my family, it was a huge achievement to apply to a 4-year college, and especially getting accepted into the University of Georgia. And not only 4 years, I'm about to do another 4 years, so my family is thrilled, ecstatic, and, you know, it makes me feel good that I'm able to go another step and learn from my family and their support drives me another step further. So my family has battled many different illnesses over the years, ranging from Parkinson's, cancer, hypertension, and the long list of other things. So for me, I've always grown up trying to help just my family stay on top of their feet and keep their head on straight. So to be able to do that to a wider range of people means a lot to my family, because they know that that's where my inspiration came from. And it means a lot to me because I want to help others, and I want to limit the amount of people that have to go through a similar situation that I did. So that means a lot to me, and my family is proud of me for taking that extra step.
What's going on, everybody? This is Chandler Sullivan, Winder-Barrow High School, class of 2014. I play football and basketball, and my overall dreams and goals were to make it to the next level. I received a scholarship to go to Georgia State University, and I earned my degree in 3.5 years, and I majored in journalism and had a minor in sociology. I can definitely say, earning a scholarship and college offers was a challenging process for the simple fact we wasn't winning a lot of games in high school. So, I feel like me and some of my other teammates were getting overlooked by college recruiters. But, we just stayed focused and just kept fighting, and, it all worked out. While in college, I can definitely say the biggest challenge, and, the difference between high school and college is accountability and time management. You no longer have anybody telling you when to wake up, when to go to sleep, when you should do your homework. So I had to learn, very early that it's academics, athletics, and then your social life. So I just feel like for anybody aspiring to go to college, once you realize that, your business comes first, then fun, you won't be stressing, and college will be a breeze for you. Dreams do come true. I encourage everybody who has a dream, regardless of what it is, to write it down first, visualize it, and speak it into existence. My overall goal in life was to play in the NFL, and now I'm going on my 3rd year with the Green Bay Packers. So, even in high school, it's not too early to think about your dreams and your goals. Just continue to work hard, and anything's attainable. I'll see y'all guys later.
From high school to college is truly the independence you have in your educational institution. Here in the high school, you have processes in place to help you succeed, as in extra credit, tutoring sessions that your teacher puts in place throughout the semester to help you out with exams and all that. In college, it's literally just you, yourself, and I. There have been times where you would beg the professor for extra credit, but he still won't give it to you. So if you fail, you fail. So I would take a really good advantage of that to get your GPA boosted up. That, and also the amount of work that you have to do yourself, and the extra research and the extra implementation of processes you have to put in your place for yourself in order to succeed in college and other higher institutions.
I have loved literally everything about college. Yes, it has its hard times and downfalls, but it is just truly the best time of your life, and it has helped me become more responsible and independent.
I gotta say, the people. So with high school, you have your little friend group, right? You have your little cliche, your clique, and you always hang around those people. When I was in high school, I was a floater. I floated around all over the place, right? But I did have that one distinct friend group, right? That I would hang out with in the gym before school every morning, and talk to and catch up and whatever. But when you go to college, some of those, that friend group, you disperse, you go to different places, meet new people, and really college is just, it's just a hodgepodge of different people, And since I was a floater in high school, I really excelled at meeting new people, different people, because I'm an open-minded guy, I like anyone, I can talk to anyone, and so just meeting new people, getting new friends, finding different friend groups and stuff, and also I'm in a fraternity, and joining that fraternity has really opened up my very wide range of friends and people that I can meet. And so really I would just say the people is really the biggest difference from high school to college.
I think my biggest difference from high school to now being in this program is you're all on your own. You're 162 miles away from family. You gotta cook on your own. You gotta feed yourself. You gotta do your own stuff. You live in a house with between 4 one house has 16 dudes living in it, you know. It gets pretty hectic. You can live by yourself, but that'd be a lot harder on you emotionally. You know, because you want to come home and talk to somebody at the end of the day. Because most of the boys, they get the house by themselves, they end up quitting because they can't do it, be away from their family. And so the biggest thing for me was being all alone up there, meeting new people. That's one of the best parts too, but it's one of the most difficult parts for me transitioning out of high school. Because, you know, you're in high school, you know everybody, you have friends. And you go up there, unless you get a buddy to go with you or something, you're all alone. You know, you got to meet all these new people. They come all the way across the country. You know, there's boys that come down from New York, Illinois, Michigan, all the way from California and Oregon. You know, this school's one of the best schools in the nation to get into line work.
So in college, it's definitely more of a hands-off approach. Your teachers, if you don't do the work, they're not going to care. You know, they're there to help you. It's not their responsibility to keep up on you to make sure you're doing your work and your quizzes and tests. It's not their responsibility for you to get the degree. They're just there as points to try to pull you forward. You know, they're there to share their experiences and to share their knowledge on you. But if you don't take, what's the word I'm looking for? If you don't take the application portion of it, if you don't apply what they're doing, if you're not putting yourself in the situations to do those tasks that they're asking you, they're not really gonna, you know, say one way or the other. It's, you know, for you to get your degree, it's up to you, honestly.
In high school, you always had mom and dad there to say no, or you should do this, or you shouldn't do that. In college, nobody's there to tell you yes or no. You just have to really take into account your own responsibility there. So there are times where, yeah, if you really wanted to go to a friend's house, you can go to a friend's house. But if you have that exam the next morning, that's on you. You're gonna get that grade. You're gonna learn from your mistakes, and that's kind of the entirety of my freshman year, was finding that balance of fun and work and trying to live while also studying in college, because it does have to take a certain amount of time to do well in school, but you also can't do just school. You have to have a little bit of fun in there and enjoy your life while you can, because you're only young once, so you got to have some fun in there. But at the end of the day, you're there for an education, so you have to make your own decisions there.
Honestly, I would have wished that I would have taken a little bit more advantage of like the lessons that the teachers would teach you here, like get your work done on time. If you don't do this, you're not going to get that. If you don't put in the effort, you're not going to get the result. That was truly a waking call, because when you go to college that first day, your professor literally gives you your syllabus and that's it. He explains it, he goes straight into the lecture, and it just literally, you got to take notes, and good notes that you understand and you can actually read in the end.
I recommend that you visit the college that you think you want to attend before you commit, because I came to Southern Miss and I felt instantly at home, whereas I went to other colleges and I didn't feel as at home. And Southern Miss wasn't my first choice until I visited, and I absolutely fell in love and felt instantly at home.
I think the biggest thing for me was never stay complacent with like what you first go into. Well, like for example, like if you do love like the program that you're going into, then by all means go for it, get after it. But if you get into college and you figure out that that's not what you wanted to do, you have all the freedom in the world to change it. I went in as an electrical engineer, right? And I changed the PR. Then I changed the real estate. And then look at me now, I'm a sport management major, all right? Now you do not have to stay with what you first go into. And always think that, always believe that, you know? College, you have so much freedom to do whatever you want, all right? Especially choosing your future and your future career, all right? So really, don't worry about staying focused on one program, all right? You have all the freedom to choose whatever you want to do.
So the biggest thing I wish I knew now while I was in high school was how much there is to line work, how much money can be made wherever you can go. There's jobs in Texas right now, $45 an hour starting out for an apprentice. And you know, if I knew that, wanted to move to Texas, I could do that. or I can come back home, go to my power company I want to work for, start out 22 an hour. And being an apprentice there, working apprentice for about 6 years, then come up to lineman 1, most slowly get your raises throughout those times. And by the time I hit my journeyman in about 10, 12 years, I'll be able to make about 120K a year. You know, I wish I knew that, could take things more seriously, save some money up. The school only costs 20 grand. That includes your equipment, your books, you have class time. You only have class 2 hours a day. But I wish I knew about the school a lot sooner, and I would have set things up to prepare myself for the school a lot better.
Knowing how not easy but easier the freshman college courses are, I wish I would have done dual enrollment. So y'all will probably have a lot more opportunities going into your spring semester. Trying to get as much opportunities as you can to get that college credit, because going through those intro college courses, they're pretty much the same as a high school course. So I definitely recommend trying to do that. And then depending on the school that you're going to, I would say try to make as many friends as you can here, because once you get to college, depending on the college you go to, it kind of fluctuates with, specifically UNG Gainesville, it's more of a commuter school. So everybody goes in, does what they need to do for school, and then leaves. There's not too much, there are opportunities to take, but not everybody takes those opportunities to be on campus, to do things, to get active in school. So I definitely recommend trying to, as you do clubs and stuff in high school, try to see, what friends you have going to, those colleges, but then also see what activities those colleges offer. And, the more active you are in the school, the better you will do, because of the fact that you're starting to build your pool of people you can talk to, be friends with. So I definitely recommend that.
I wish I could tell myself back in high school not to stress as much. Granted, my stress prompted me to do a little better and probably do better, but knowing now that in the end it all works out, just kind of enjoy the small moments along the way, because those are things you can't ever get back.
Deadlines are most key in any process into a university institution. If you don't get your paperwork on time or any other documents in before the cutoff date, they won't accept you into that semester or any class you have to register for. Recommendation for students here currently at Winder-Barrow High School: honestly, just talk to your teachers, talk to people who have passed through that experience. Literally, knowledge is key in any aspect, and having more knowledge or having someone else's experience help you, guide you for your future is really helpful and really insightful. Sadly, I didn't have anyone to ask what was their experience going out of state, but luckily Mr. Peppers and my family really did help me in all that, through the university's email programs and any other forms of communication that could benefit you. Please do take full advantage of it.
I also recommend that you get involved, especially if you go to a college where you know nobody like I did. I am 7 hours away from home and I knew absolutely no one, so getting involved on campus really helped me meet new people and make connections.
Overall, my biggest recommendation is just have fun. You can never have too much fun in life, and always be happy. Never get down on yourself. Sophomore year I had an awful year, right? But after that, I lifted up my head. I kept on trucking, and I've always been a happy-go-lucky guy, and I just continued to be that, and I bring joy to people. I love that, and I definitely recommend doing that throughout college, because you'll make so many new friends and so many important connections for your future career after college, because connections are everything, all right? The people that you know is what's going to get you your job in the future, all right? Yes, your education is important. Yes, what you learn in class is going to apply to your future career, but really the most important thing is the connections that you get, because those people are going to be the people that give you your job in the future and that tell their bosses, hey, this person is awesome. I had a great conversation with them. like at dinner one night, at Amici's downtown Athens, So really be open, Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't be afraid to talk to different people, all right? Everyone's afraid when they first go to college. I was terrified, going to UGA compared to Winder-Barrow. Oh man. So really don't be afraid to talk to people, all right? People want to talk to you, they really do. And people want to talk to you as well, because they're coming from the same situation, Like, yeah, they might have a couple more friends than you that came from the same school, but that doesn't really matter, because they want to meet new people just like you want to meet new people.
The only recommendation I have for you if you're thinking about this is it's hard work. It's a lot of work. It's hot up there. They have different things. For 5 weeks, all you're going to do is climb. They have this thing called a gauntlet. You're going to sit on a pole for 8 hours. That hard work I did running my landscape business and working at hills, working sometimes 60 hours a week while being in school, because I got out at 10:30. I could do that. It was hard work, and it really taught me discipline. And going up there to school wasn't much of a change for me, because you're working in the rain. First bolt of lightning, we go inside, of course, but it was raining up there. It was like 45 degrees. It was cold up there in the mountains. It was cold and windy. We were out there climbing poles, running wire. Line work don't stop. You get called in on storms, you're still going to do it, but it's a lot of hard work. You got to be mentally prepared to do it. There's a lot of boys that come up there and quit, and most of the time they don't get their money back because they quit. You'd be out of pocket 20 grand because you couldn't do it and you decided to quit. But it has its advantages, and I like it.
One thing I will say is I've changed my major 3 times so far, and it is okay to do that. One thing I will recommend is, trying to get your core classes out of the way, because at the end of the day, your core classes transfer from degree to degree, or pathway to pathway. But if you get those core classes, that'll give you the time. If you're working on just your core classes for the first little bit, if you get those done or are getting those done as you're changing your degrees, you won't have to take extra classes. You won't have to retake others, because of the fact that those will transfer over to the other ones. Meanwhile, your program level courses, those if you were a business major 1 minute and then you're taking accounting and some other classes, that may not transfer over to a chemistry degree. So I definitely recommend doing core classes. That'll give you the time to figure out exactly what you're going to try to want to do in life. So that's probably what I would say.
For seniors, it's not always about the GPA, and this is kind of coming personally from me and also from my resident assistant, my RA in college. You mean so much more than a GPA. So if you're applying to college with a low GPA, don't stress. There is that well-rounded application process like I mentioned earlier. But at the end of the day, you are your own person, and your GPA should not define you. So, take a deep breath. It's something I need to do more often myself. But that's the best advice I can give you, is just to breathe, live in the moment. Don't worry about what's on paper. Just take care of yourself, and don't let a paper define who you are.